The relevant situation at this ASEAN summit again fully shows the positive changes in the South China Sea situation, and the joint wishes of countries in this region is to seek stability, promoting cooperation and seeking development, and should be respected and supported by all sides. China is willing to continue to work with the Philippines to appropriately deal with related South China Sea issues.
The arrival of the U.S. anti-missile defense system THAAD is causing big divisions in South Korea, where presidential elections are due to be held next week. Authorities say THAAD will help protect people from the growing threat of a DPRK attack, but the official rhetoric hasn't stopped protesters from calling for the immediate removal of the foreign missile system. Local residents say they are concerned about reports THAAD's radar could harm their health and the health of their crops. But Seoul's defense ministry says such worries are groundless.
Massive drills by the DPRK, large-scale war games between the US and South Korea, all accompanied by bellicose threats from Pyongyang and Washington. There's not much Seoul can do until after a snap election on May the 9th, resulting from the impeachment and arrest of former President Park Geun-hye.
We are in a sensitive election period, and we need to have elections and elect a new president and new government. Then we can solve this problem.
The DPRK threat has been getting even more airtime in this campaign than the economy or corruption. With the DPRK's nuclear missile program the top election issue here, politicians have been indulging in a war of words over who can best defend the South from a potential attack. The front-runner Democratic Party, led by Moon Jae-in, is calling for a carrot and stick approach. United Nations sanctions would be toughened for further missile or bomb tests, and South Korea's military budget would grow by 3%. But the party also wants to reopen the six-party talks that include China, Japan and the US, and to restart a limited version of South Korea's abandoned sunshine policy.
We would like to persuade them to give up nuclear weapon or weapons of mass destruction and try to open up their market. Then we, along with our allies, can help them to improve their economy.
The People's Party, led by Ahn Cheol-soo, is also polling strongly and supports dialogue with the DPRK within limits.
Mr. Ahn, who is a sort of a more moderate frontrunner, who is second to Mr. Moon, has expressed a little bit more careful approach, where engagement is a possibility, but that it's not necessarily going to be the main bread and butter of his administration should he be elected.
Both of the leading campaigners are liberals who want to tone down the tensions and angry rhetoric currently fanning the flames. But both politicians also back a strong defense relationship with the United States, and neither is talking about dismantling the recently deployed THAAD anti-missile system that has angered China. It's perhaps no surprise, given that the South's own armed forces capabilities, whether it is tanks, troops or planes, is in most areas less than half the strength of Pyongyang's. Jack Barton, CGTN, Seoul.
The escalating tensions between the U.S. and North Korea tops our news this hour. Today, China is calling for an immediate halt of the U.S. THAAD anti-missile defense system, now operational in South Korea, claiming it could be used to spy on its territory. Still, China says it's prepared to take protective measures if necessary. Meanwhile, President Trump opened the door to negotiations with the leader of North Korea. Amid surging nuclear tensions, Trump praised the leader, calling him, quote, a smart cookie in a recent interview with CBS News. Trump's latest rhetoric surrounding North Korea has bewildered lawmakers who say his administration is legitimizing a brutal dictatorship. But just how do South Koreans feel about the potential threat from the North? RT's Simone Del Rosario is in Seoul for us tonight.
Under the threat of conflict with its neighbor to the north, if South Koreans are worried, you can't tell just by looking. The city of Seoul and its 10 million residents are out in droves, going about their daily lives.
Today in Seoul, we're hitting the streets of Myeongdong, a bustling downtown shopping area. It's here we'll hear from South Koreans, their thoughts on the tensions and issues at hand.
I'm scared I'm scared.
I think we're getting used to it now, so it doesn't shock me that much, but I can feel that it's getting serious.
제가 생각에는 저 같은 경우
I experienced the Korean War, and these days, currently, Kim Jong-un's provocation would not be that serious.
And the heightened tensions and news coverage haven't kept tourists from the city either.
The weeks before our trip, we were aware, and our friends and family were like, "Oh, is it a good idea?" But we weren't really nervous.
So there may be mixed emotions on the threat of an attack from the north, but on the character of its leader, responses are near unanimous.
What are your thoughts on Kim Jong-un?
On Kim Jong-un, he looks like a spoiled rich kid, something like that. He's just doing whatever he wants.
별로 좋게 생각은 안 합니다.
I think he's a very bad man.
너무 무모하고
He's not a human being. He's just a bad man.
He's very dangerous. So unpredictable.
But he's not the only leader Koreans find unpredictable.
Do you think that there will be a war?
Maybe with Trump, we never know what's going to happen.
I don't know what he's thinking. I can't understand who he is.
이제 자세히는 내가 모르겠지만은
It depends on the case. Sometimes he's a very good man, sometimes unpredictable, so sometimes I worry about him.
Still others are on board with President Donald Trump's tough talk, including this former diplomat.
I am totally approving his proposal.
The actions Trump may take against North Korea are still on the table. But in the meantime, for Seoul, it's business as usual. In Seoul, South Korea, Simone Del Rosario, RT.